just calling to say I just calling to say I
Heaven just knows what it wants. Will I go back to the place where I belong? Everyone could break my heart, but I try my best to not fall apart. And I found it hard to let go. The memories keep me together. Gotta fight till the end, no pressure, no pressure. And I find it hard to say no to the ones who want something better, to the ones who never say never. You'll be my pleasure. I got nothing to be scared of, because where people live, there is always love. I know the answers in my heart, so I'll try my best to not fall apart. And I found it hard to let go. The memories keep me together. Gotta fight till the end, no pressure, no pressure. And I find it hard to say no to the ones who want something better, to the ones who together. Gotta fight till the end, no pressure, no pressure. And I find it hard to say no to the ones who want something better, the ones who never say never. Will you be my pleasure?
Hand on the wheel, got my pistons pumping, all 800 horses running. Oh, baby. 125 in the middle of the night, got my engine thundering. Dream machine, racing queen, I'll take you wherever you wanna go. Let's slow this down, break the speed of sound. Tonight we all know. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Driving on the highway, blue lights flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Born to ride, Mustang 65, got that V8 engine with a fuel injection. Drop the clutch, pedal to the floor, turn that giddy button to a lion's roar. Dream machine, racing queen, I'll take you wherever you wanna go. Let's slow this down, break the speed of sound. Tonight we all know. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Driving on the highway, blue lights flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Driving on the highway, blue lights flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody. Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening so far. I for sure am. My name is Rick Popken, also known as Ricky DC within the commentating scene. I'd like to welcome you to this very special one-off event we're running today. We're doing a 1-hour team versus team race. It's at Misano, as you might have guessed correctly. In fact, you can see the big track map on the screen. And I'm very much excited for this one. We've got 3 teams. We've got Formula Racing League, a team you guys might be familiar with. It's almost like I'm streaming on their channel. And then there's also Harakiri, which is a mainly Czech and Slovakian team. In fact, every single entry they have on that list is from Czechia or Slovakia, apart from one driver, which is Christopher Verstappen. And we've got Lightspeed Racing, which is a pan-European team mostly, pardon me. And first up is 15 minutes of qualifying here. Now, in case you want to know how you can distinguish the teams, it's pretty simple. If you look over to your left, you will see that there's 3 color codes here. You can see it near the racing number around it. So the white team is Team Harakiri, the red team is Team Lightspeed Racing, and then the team I assume most of you all are here for is Formula Racing League, and that is the silver team, or the grey team if you will. So a little bit about this event here. It's going to be a 60-minute race here with 1 mandatory pit stop after this 15-minute qualifying here. The pit window is 40 or 45 minutes, so you should be fine. And the only requirement is that you at least get a 1 liter of fuel into your car here. So for most teams, at least for most players, I wanted to say, it's mainly going to be a splash and dash, I believe. However, you gotta time it right. You don't want to end up in traffic here. So welcome everybody to the stream. Hope you guys are enjoyed. Ooh, wait, what has happened? Jardir has a broken wheel. He can't get the car started when it clicked over to quali. Oh, that's not good. Wait, did I not do Control L? Wait, did I not? What does that even do? I'm scared to click things. What does that even do, Control L? When it's here, there's going to be a total of 31 drivers on the grid. Oh, he just left the server to restart his game. I hope he can't get back in. Come on, guys, be nice. That's all I'm asking for. Not asking for much here, okay? The only thing I ask for is that you behave in chat, okay? Because I'm not a moderator, I'm just a commentator. Some familiar names on the server for Formula Racing League. This is one of them, for example. It's Nico Veldman, the Dutchman. Driving in the Audi R8, just like he was at the New Year's event, which was obviously a event that I did myself as well. Same for the Christmas events. That's what you guys might know me for. I'm mainly a Counter-Strike commentator, and sometimes I like to take a little trip over to sim racing, which is exciting stuff, really. Now, Ossie Laurent is going slowly here. He needs to get all the other cars out of the way before he can start his lap. Nico Veldman has gone wide, so he's going to have to abandon that lap at least. Just waiting for the first time to come in. The current fastest time is this man. It's Alex Saktel. Now, oh, Control L. Did I not do that? Oh, wait. Whoops. Did I not? No, it doesn't actually. But I'm pretty sure that's an option. I just gotta find the right key for it, okay? Because I know it's an option. I know that very much. Okay, it's not that one. And I think they were turned off earlier, so I'm just quickly gonna click everything and then we'll see what happens, I guess. Click every single button until I break something. That was not what I wanted to do. Interesting. What is the button then? I know there's a keybind for it somewhere. Wait, I did so. Oh, it's a V. Okay, we figured it out, lads. There we go. Look. I'm getting better at this commentating thing. There we go. Now we should be ready, at least. Got the times as well on the left. Oh, we will. Don't know about you, Woody. Well, let's not immediately call names here. But ignore Riff, currently second fastest, but it will be this man to come out on top now. That's a beautiful lap coming in. Now it's just waiting for Christopher Verstappen to give it a go. Yeah, it is V. I just clicked V. Now the name should be fine. We go second fastest in that Bentley. Now obviously that car's got quite a bit of a buff because we are running the LFM balance of power. For the people that don't know what that is, that basically means that all the cars kind of get balanced out a little bit here by adding weight to cars that are fast and also removing weight from cars that are slow. So that helps kind of bring out the field, bring it a little bit more evenly. Now you can see some more drivers starting their fast laps. There's only 9 minutes to go here during qualifying. Obviously it can get quite chaotic out there as well if you want every single driver to be in clean air. It's going to be very busy around the track. So you gotta time it right as well. Here we have the man that asked me to do the commentary. It's Marco Kitty driving the Porsche 992. Beautiful car that is. This last lap obviously was a 40-minute lap, so it's only now started his fastest lapper. Paula Alex is in the wall. Which is a shame, because that Rexy livery is an absolutely beautiful one. More slower cars. I mean, you just have to time it right. Marek Vons sporting the Garage 59 livery. Probably my favorite in the entire game. And also my favorite IRL. Last time I saw it at the Hockenheim ring, it was such a stunner. And honestly, I want to see that thing again if I've got the chance. Now we have more drivers approaching the start-finish. One of them is this driver here. It's Marek Polach. He's one of the white team drivers, means he is representing Harakiri Racing. 25th fastest for him. So I hope he can improve a little bit on that, because that's not where you want to start in. Now we have Alex Sackdal again, already third fastest. We know this man is quick. He's proven it multiple times. Can he improve on his lap this time around? Well, it doesn't quite look like it, unfortunately. So it's going to try again later on. Now it's waiting for Andrea Furlan to cross the line. I have seen that a few liveries did not sync properly. This is one of them. Don't know exactly what's happened, because I have run the thing in Awesome Sim Racing, so I don't really know what that's all about. But it's fine. We're just going to do it this way. We got Andrea Furlan then. Goes 23rd fastest with a 1:45.7. So 2 seconds of the pace roughly, meaning there is lots of time for improvement still. I think he'll be able to improve on that as well. Most drivers have set their slower laps by now. Oh my lord, is that a... Did I see that correctly? Is that an M6? Oh my lord, it is. So it's fun to see some unique cars out there on the grid. That's definitely one of them. It's not a car you see every day. There goes Marek Polach in the Lamborghini. Makes it to the last turn. Currently in P28 and sets his first time lap. That's a competitive one. P14 it will be for him. That's roughly halfway to the grid. Immediately stops the car as well. Look at how many cars are approaching there. It can get quite hectic in there. I hope they'll be able to not interfere with each other. And this is the man in P4 at the moment. It's Marek Fonsen. Name I have mentioned before. The driver from Slovakia. Currently 4th fastest. Drops down to 5th after the Bentley driver came in as well. So needs to keep pushing. Needs to keep on it. And here we have Stefano Furlan crossing the line. P6. Sorry, 6 minutes to go. P22. Fortunately, no improvement for him either. Now we have the 666 car approaching. That is Miso Stupna. Also one of the drivers for Harakiri. Goes 17 fastest. He is in the M4 GT3, so you can see the difference between the cars. Oh, that's what FRL stands for. Fucking Racing Legends. Alright, well, I did not know that. Yeah, I mean, that would be a good rebrand for FRL, I think. Definitely fits the name well, I must say. Here we have Simon Turner. British driver in the Ferrari 296, 25th fastest. 2.2 seconds off the pace compared to the fastest driver on the grid somewhere. And that's Marco Keddy resetting into the pits. Now, don't know if there was an incident of some sort. I haven't seen it. Here we have Amir Kasatarash. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That's one from the Netherlands. We don't really see those names too often around here, so apologies if I don't. And feel free to correct me. Speaking of other people, here we have Tukberg Bademci. Currently P11 in the car number 11. 1:33.677 was the time to beat, and he did beat that, but it looks like his lap was unfortunately invalidated. That is one more driver resetting into the pits as well, and you're right. Svenchek does about the same. Good evening, Ricky. Good evening, Tom. Hope you're finding yourself well on this beautiful Tuesday evening. How are you doing, mate? It's always good to see you back. Let me know, by the way, if the microphone settings aren't up to par. I've changed a couple settings around, and I haven't tested it in the long run, but I have done some test recordings, and it sounded absolutely beautiful. It's mainly to reduce the echo on it. So, in case there's anything, let me know. I'll try and change that as soon as I have the chance to. And meanwhile, 25 viewers here out there. Now, obviously, that's quite a bit. Not as much as this man gets, of course. That is the biggest streamer in today. Yardir, I believe his name is on YouTube. P7 at the moment. Obviously, going to be a real competitive driver out there today. Mic is good for me. That's great to hear. And I bloody hope so, because this definitely wasn't a cheap microphone at all. So, yeah, it better be good. It better be worth it. Here we see Tukberg Bajemchi coming in one more time. Really looks relatively quick. Is he going to stick at a P14? It looks like it, yes. That's a shame, but maybe he can improve later on. Here we have Alex Sekdal again. Loud and clear, good to hear. I remember when Max Verstappen said that once in Formula 1, I believe it was a practice session where he went to say a radio check and he had a voice crack, and then his racing engineer went like loud and clear. Kind of evil, but kind of funny regardless. And speaking about voice, I have a massive cold, so apologies if I don't sound as energetic as I usually do. I'm trying my best here, I promise. I'm gonna make sure that I give it my 100% like I usually do. Here we have Pascal Reinhardt in the M6 GT3. It's a car that looks a little bit off to me. That's mainly because you don't see it that often on the grid anymore. It's a little bit weird how the front lights look to me, but he's gone for a bright purple livery, so he'll be sure to stand out. And 146.677 is definitely nothing to write home about, at least not if you compare it to the rest of the grid, because that currently is the 30th fastest time. So I hope he can improve on that later, as we wait for Amir Kastrash to once again get in there. 133.7. Will there be improvement? Yes, it will be. But only by a small margin. Only moves to one position. Here we have Vincenzo Senatore. 30th fastest and 13th fastest, and it looks like he'll stay there. What's happened to Paulo Alex? I think he might have disconnected there. A little bit of a weird camera issue that is, but I will. Doesn't matter much, I guess. Now we wait for Alex Sekdal to cross the line one more time. Only 1.5 minutes left in qualifying. And I think we should just be ready here. 6th fastest at the moment. Sekdal can't really improve that much. Maybe Miso Stupna can. No, he can't quite either. So P19 he'll stay for now. And yeah, it's a little bit of a hectic qualifying here. That is Tukberg Bademchi unfortunately going off as well. So resetting into the pits he goes. Now watching Lucas Kartmar for a bit. Pretty good for 7th fastest, name I haven't said before. Top 20 is separated by a second. Yes, oh, that's brilliant. That's going to promise us some great racing, I bet. Now Kagardby crossing the line. P9, so definitely one of the better FRL drivers on there. And you can see as well how Harakiri White is just absolutely dominating at the moment. Kagardby goes 3rd fastest though. I think he'll be very happy with that. In fact, goes off as well to celebrate. Onchik didn't need much time. Yeah, it seems to be rapid out there today. Currently fastest driver, Jaroslav Onchik. Beautiful stuff. And you can see as well that at the moment it looks like Team Lightspeed isn't that competitive. Seem to be struggling here, but also a lot of drivers into the pits for them. So I'm wondering what's happening over there. Perhaps skill level is just a little bit lower there, or perhaps even there's just, you know, not been a good qualifying for them. That's obviously also a possibility. Town Hungry just got an FRL from work. Ooh, well, I hope you're gonna do great there. Christoph Verstrapen stays on P4. Now we have Wojciech Norwith coming in. He improved now. Well, not quite. It looks like, or maybe. I think it was a little bit slow there, but no, he actually improves by quite a significant margin. Pushes himself up to P4. And here we have Louis Petzold. He's not going to be improving. So now waiting for Vladimir Popov to cross the line. He should be the last one to do so, if I'm not mistaken. P25 it is at the moment. Hopefully in the middle of the pack of his own team. And there we go here. So these are the times here. We have this man at the front. It's going to be Honchik leading the race from the beginning. A 142.782. That's an impressive lap. Speed Racing has some fast drivers. They're just not here. Well, you know, maybe it's just so we underestimate them. That could also be the case, of course. And it looks like we're actually seeing some advanced talk here as well about the qualifying session. I see some version of bumper cars. No braking into turn 1. It's only going to be a couple minutes till we start here. And there we go. Grid aligning, which means I got to tab into the game. It's stupid how that works. We click go. And we tab out again, which is really unfortunate. Not that button. Although that also works, I guess. Whoops. That was not the button I meant to click, but it works. Alright, we get it done in the end. Ah well. Anyways. 2 minutes until we get going. Please mention Jordan May. Where is he? I haven't seen a name on the grid, but maybe I've just looked over him. I'm looking for him right now. Where is he? There he is, Jordan May. P23, that was for him. See if we can get a close look at that car. There we go, there he is. Going to try to mention everybody. Of course, and then we have Karsten. Let's see where Karsten is then. So obviously, I don't know the last name, so that's not helping here. Okay, Karsten. Am I blind? Karsten, where's the names with the C, lads? Wait. Here's a name with the C, but it's Christoph Verstrepen, so I know it's not him. Has he left the server, perhaps? I'm pretty sure I saw him before. I don't see him. P23, yeah, I saw that for Mr. May. Only 12? Is he only 12 years old? Was in chat. May not be driving. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I saw his name in the server somewhere. Might be just me, though. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe just be the admin. Yeah, that also could make sense. So I wonder if we're doing live stewarding for the event in that case. Not entirely sure here. Oh, I got pinged somewhere in their server, though. Alright, Lightspeed Racing has launched their own stream, and I did not see Karsten Douwenhoy in the server yet. So he could very well be the admin. Alright, well, not a lot of time to go here. I think we should be doing a full formation lap here. One hour of racing to go. There's the first drivers coming up. May only 12 here. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody sent new driver, only 12. Please mention Jordan May, new driver, only 12. I'm not sure. If he is 12 years old, then that's damn impressive. I mean, I'm 20 and I still haven't made anything of my life. Ah, touche. Oh, but in all seriousness, though, I don't know. Definitely gotta get some more trivia in. Obviously, I've been commentating for 3 seasons with Amigos, so I know them for a bit. I've been with Formula Racing League for only 3 events, so obviously that's quite a big difference. Also some other events on the site, VXSS. And also Moonies League somewhere in between. I think they've just rebranded, not entirely sure here. Now we've started our full formation lap. So we'll see a lot of names go back and forth. I'm 41 and I haven't made anything of it. Yeah. I feel you, brother. I feel you. Well, it is what it is sometimes, right? It's always still potential. 31. Still figuring it all out. That's alright, man. That's alright. This wasn't meant to be a trauma dumping session, but go ahead. Let's get rid of the runny nose. 2 options there. Or to get everything out of my nose, or just remove the nose completely, turning into Voldemort. Could always do that. Looks like everybody's sulfur, so that's already great. Where 6 and giving up, figuring out, just going with the flow, yeah. You know, that's actually how some people live their lives though, right? Just seeing what happens to them. Don't really have a plan. If something comes up, they'll say, hey, we'll take it or I won't. Hello everybody, looks like I made it just in time. Yeah, you did, my friend. You've missed qualifying, but you're here for the race though. Which is obviously the most important part here. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get right into it here. We're currently in the last sector. And I've got a sheet here full of corner names because I'm not really good at remembering them. I'm a very bad visual learner. Somebody needs to teach me all of this. Because I don't know how people do that. Alright, so second last turn coming up now. Before headed into the last turn, which is obviously the famous Misano corner. At least according to Wikipedia, what do I know? And can we get some predictions going in the chat? Well, who do you guys think is going to win this race here? Is it going to be the big streamer? Is it going to be one of our community here? We're about to find out. There's a race going to be underway in just any moment now. Everybody lining up at the start. About to cross the line. And there we go. We are underway. And it looks like everybody's off well. Already you can see lots of players trying to find a space. Gardner's got himself a drive-through penalty in the beginning, but it looks like the race has been relatively clean for a start here. Don't think there's been many incidents. In fact, I don't believe there's been any. That's great to see here. Looks like the quality of racing definitely very good here. So there we go. Yeah, exactly. Corner 1, 2, 3. That's how they do it on American tracks. Not every corner doesn't really have a name, which also works here. So it's still this man leading the race at the moment. They're already creating quite a big gap here. Jaroslav Honzik seems to be doing alright so far. You can see how big the group is behind there, and so far still no incidents reported. There hasn't been a yellow flag yet. So this is beautiful stuff we're seeing here. Actual clean sim racing, that's what it's all about here. Genso Seratona making his way past the BMW now, needs to slot in. That's so perfect. He needs to be careful that he doesn't ping the Lamborghini off the road, but he doesn't. But it should just be fine. Now that is Formula Racing League gaining quite a few positions, and Formula Racing League currently being carried by this man. Melker Gartby is the car most up front here, and the P1 to 3 all by the Harakiri team, which you can see by the left side of your on the left side of your screen. You can see the background color of the driver numbers, and that will tell you who they're representing here. So it's going to be silver for Formula Racing League, it's going to be white for Harakiri, and red for Lightspeed Racing. And speaking about Lightspeed Racing, this man already has got himself a pit stop. That is Adam Garner. He's already coming in here to serve his drive-through. So yeah, quite an unfortunate start for him. And you can see that the fastest driver for Lightspeed Racing is in P20, so they've got a very, very far way to go. Currently aboard with Melker Gartby, opening up that attack on that Czech driver right in front of him in that Aston Martin. So far, looks like he is just about as close as he needs to be. Mandatory drive-through served already for Gardner, so luckily he doesn't have to worry about that anymore. And with 1 hour, there's still plenty of time to make up that time. However, it's obviously going to be tricky here. Benjamin Eck considers going down the inside. Will there be space? Looks like the other Lamborghini will land it to him. Now they're getting closer, but I think the Formula Racing team driver isn't quite past yet. And no, indeed. So he's slotting in behind one more time. He's going to give it another go. And I have to wait for that. You can see that Miso Stupna has gained himself a few positions and now is back on his starting positions. Had a little bit of a rough start, but seems to be going alright just now. Speaking about the biggest winners and losers, it actually looks like the majority of their field is actually still in the same place. The only driver which has lost a lot of positions is Gardner, but he's already served his penalty, which is probably what has happened in the first place. Now, Mark Vons in the Garage 59 livery, making his way through the Misano turn. That is the last turn of the track, making his way on to the long straight here in P9. That's the same position as he started at. Chasing down the Ferrari and Aston ahead of him. That Ferrari 296 looking solid out there today. It's Krakmar. We saw a little bit of him in the qualifying session, and Svenchek has gotten himself another drive-through as well. So that's the second drive-through handed out already. Not entirely sure what that is for. However, gonna have to serve that in some place of time. And I still don't know if you guys are joking with the 12 years old now. Like, I generally can't tell if you guys are joking or... But well. Anyways, here Juraj Cevenček, he's got a penalty to serve, and it's quite a significant one. A full drive-through penalty definitely isn't going to help him in the beginning of the race here. So that's also the only upset right now for Gardner. He's going to be in clean air for quite a significant time. Only downside is that he needs to catch up at some point. So we'll see what his strategy is going to be. And I wouldn't even be surprised if he at some point decided to come in early and just drive the rest of the race in clean air. Try and just treat it like a big time trial. So currently it's still this man leading. It's Jaroslav Honček. He's quick out there. 2.5 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Representing Team Harakiri. And just look at it really. There's just no competition for this man at the moment. Christopher Verstrepen in the Bentleys. Following in P4 at the moment. Between them is Brechtja and Neuwirth. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And we have Elke Gardby and Alex Assetto. So both the Swedes fighting their absolute hardest here. Now, Elke Gardby's lost 3 positions comparing to his start position. Looks like everybody's still going here. Svenchek is also serving his mandatory pit stop, and he's going to be somewhere at the same time as Gardner is, I believe. They're both driving out right now. The gap is really, really similar. But obviously, Juraj Svenchek can't just cross back. But he is ahead of the Aston Martin. But now he has something to work towards. Now he can finally start hunting again. Now we're watching the Swiss driver. He is a pilot by day and a sim racer by night. That's Marco Keddy, of course. Driving in the Porsche for Formula Racing team. That's also the only little fun trivia fact that I've actually gotten myself into. So yeah, that was all in terms of fun trivia. I remember actually when I started doing commentary, I always have like a big sheet of fun facts about every single track, and people used to love that. Maybe I should pick that up again. That was good fun back in the time. Back in the day. Well, I say back in the day, but it's only half a year ago. That's when I roughly started playing. It's a little bit more than that now. I believe I got the game in May or June 2023. If I say that correctly. Which is funny because I only bought my wheel like a month after. Yeah, I mean, I rolled into the Assetto Corsa Competizione comms by accident regardless. So in that sense, shouldn't be a big surprise here. Here we see the BMW M4 here. Currently split in between the Formula Racing League drivers. You saw the Audi R8 of Nico Veldman right ahead of him as well. He's currently in P12. Now we see how quick that BMW really is. Seems to hold on not straight relatively well. Actually gaining a little bit here on Nico Veldman. And still Marco Keddy following him are John Baton. And then we have Bademci and Senatora right behind as well. You can see as well that the front group slowly but surely escaping here. The gap between Honček and Brechtja is getting bigger. Only 3.6 seconds, and if that keeps up, it's going to be lapping people before you know it. That is the sign that the pit window is open, which means that everybody's now free to serve their mandatory pit stop for today. They need to refuel for at least 1 liter. That's the only thing they need to do here. No other requirements, and with a 60-minute race, I wouldn't be surprised if most drivers decided to stick to their tires anyways. So, not expecting a lot of long pit stops here. Well, obviously, at some point there might be damage, but so far it's been really clean, and I'm really surprised because that doesn't really happen often in Assetto Corsa Competizione. So in that sense, I think it's fair to say that, you know, level of standards here is pretty high when it comes to racing etiquette, which is always great to see here. We're currently watching the South African driver. That is Arnie Sealing. Now, I don't know if he's actually from South Africa and living there as well, or if he's somewhere else. Otherwise, I might suspect that's a little bit of a ping issue here. Now, obviously, you see it quite often because I don't think there's many big South African communities out there. It's not that I know of. And here we have Lewis Petzold. He was driving slowly. Resultingly, as was one position here, that is Jordan May making it through. Now also on the inside, it might be another position lost there. Now watching Angela Scott, that is a name we all remember. She was in the Christmas event as well as in the New Year's event at Donington Park and Laguna Seca respectively. Good times around. Definitely some of my favorite events I've done. Seemed like there was good vibes, and Scott unfortunately loses that position again to Casa Tarash. Which, well, it's great to see for Formula Racing League at least. Now finds herself fighting back here. Wants to go side by side, but can't quite do that. So far, just going to be the waiting game for now, stalking her prey before actually getting into it. And now we see how Melker Gardby is doing in here. He seems to be holding on quite well to Christoph Verstrepen. The Bentley driver seems to be doing roughly the same lap times here. Verstrepen was a little bit quicker on the last lap. The gap is still pretty marginal, and we're already quite far in. Keep in mind, we've already crossed the 50-minute mark basically just now. So there we go. That's already 1/6 of the race done here. And so far it's been quite an eventful race, but I must say I expected more crashing. I expected more open lobby-esque maneuvers, but so far it looks like everybody's kept it clean, and that's definitely when you get the most enjoyable racing here. It's hard but fair racing, of course. And obviously, sometimes trading paint just happens, right? That's just how it is. Look at the teamwork here as well between Casatras as well as May here. And Petzold can do absolutely nothing, or can he? No, he's just somehow snuck it in between. I don't know how he's done that. Now he will be on the outside for the next turn. Will the Formula Racing League Ferrari stay ahead? It looks like it will. Yes, absolutely. Beautiful defending we're seeing here, but Petzold is not giving up in this one yet. And you see as well how close May is getting, and Angela Scott's right behind that as well. So this might be a big one here for position. And once again, they go side by side into the next turn. Now we'll have the inside line. I think he has just stuck the move, or has he? No, there's the Ferrari 296 around the outside again. Formula Racing driver not giving up, or they're leaving space for each other. Still side by side they are. Now on the inside it will once again be the Formula Racing driver, and I think he might be able to sneak it ahead. However, going for the switchback perhaps? No, not quite. There we go. Petzold losing that position once again, and Casatarash showing that he indeed does know how to race. What a beautiful fight that was here. And in the end it will be the Iranian to come out on top. Now we look a little bit further down the pack. We're aboard with Vladimir Popov. If I'm not mistaken, a driver from Cyprus, if I saw that correctly. Seems to be chilling right now. P23 for him. Amazing racing. Yeah, absolutely, that was. Definitely can tell that the level's very high in this lobby. And obviously, not necessarily for pace everywhere. Or I think it's also fair to say that, you know, like safety, racing fast is one skill, right? But racing fast and fair is like a complete other. And saying that myself, I must say that, you know, I struggle a lot when I'm playing LFM. So massive respect to these guys, because I definitely couldn't do that, even if I tried. Now I have started picking up racing a little bit here. I started playing the regular Assetto Corsa game on low fuel motorsport. It's quite a lot of fun there, and I've added some more cups into that as well now. So hope that I can upgrade my license at some point and try the other leagues. I haven't really gotten around to it, unfortunately. And I also run my own league on the Mazda MX-5 Cup in regular Assetto Corsa. Got myself second place last time round. Actually, I finished first, but got a 2-second penalty in the end. So quite a shame. But yeah, the adrenaline you get from racing is definitely unmatched here. So it's a great option, really. And I'm very glad that I get into it. I'm also very glad that everybody has been so welcome here, especially from the Formula Racing League team as well, because they've allowed me to do this for the third time. Now, it's been an absolute pleasure, and they've been so welcoming in the community. It's always a pleasure to be here, and I hope you guys realize that as well, that it's you who makes this awesome in the end here. So thank you all for being here today. It's very much appreciated. Now, we switch a little bit forward to the pack here. We're aboard with Christoph Verstrepen, and if you want to look like what it looks like from the inside, it's indeed a right-hand side steering wheel. So Christoph Verstrepen probably needs to get used to it, because the Belgian driver might not be used to that here. It would be easier for one of the UK drivers perhaps, but you got to keep in mind now that you're very wide over towards the left side. And you can also see what it looks like from his point of view. Of course, you've got that nice rear view camera. That also gives you an idea of how quick they're really going here. It's very tricky to really be competitive in this cars. You know, staying consistent with these is an absolute nightmare, at least to me. Because you need to be on it every single time. If you just lose focus for half a second, you're done for. These drivers know that as well. So that's also why sim racing is so intense in the end. Yep, there's lots of fast guys, but many without racecraft. Need both. Yeah, exactly. And for me, myself, you know, it's mainly a matter of experience, right? How like you create opportunities to get past safely. And obviously training paint sometimes happens, right? As I mentioned before. However, I want to race fairly. That's what matters most to me. If I wanted to ram people off the road, I would have just installed Wreckfest again. Which is a really fun game, to be fair, but don't think it's, you know, what this game is meant for, that's for sure. So, of course, the Competizione is meant to race cleanly. I think everybody knows that by now. And so far, it has been an absolute clean race. In fact, we haven't even really seen a yellow flag come out at any point, I believe. At least I haven't here. Look at the train here as well. Formula Racing League cars. We have Caddy, then we have John Beton. Then we have Veldman, and then we have Bademci right behind that as well. A little bit of a train here for Formula Racing team. Need to make their way to the front somehow here, because at the moment it's not looking good here for Formula Racing team, and it's Jaroslav Vončík still leading. Look at the gap he's created. It's almost 7 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. That's just incredible, really. No words for that. A 1:33.6 is his fastest lap. Compare that to the 1:34.2. Then you really get to see how big of a gap it really is, because if you do that every single lap here, I know it's the fastest lap, but if you take like an average, right, it's pretty good. And yeah, that's obviously going to make a big difference in there as well. So curious to see if he can keep that up for at least another 45 minutes. That's definitely not going to be easier. Lucas Kakmar in the Ferrari 296. Currently pushing on to Alex Sakta, which is obviously one of the drivers for Formula Racing League. One of the Swedes we have on the grid, together with Malcolm Gartby, who was right ahead of him as well in P5. So he's the one chasing the Bentley I mentioned before of Verstrepen. So to give you an idea how things are looking in terms of times here, we have a big screen. You can also see the handicaps here for most of the drivers here. So you can see, for example, that if you look at the Mercedes, it's gotten quite a bit of a nerf here, 22 kilos ala. You can also see that some cars have become a little bit quicker here. For example, minus 40 by Bentley. Now the Bentley is obviously known to be, well, you know, not that fast of a car, so obviously that plays quite a big factor in that. Meanwhile, we saw in the background, we saw Vons losing one position here to Lorenz. Now obviously they're in the same team, so I don't expect them to really go elbows out on this one, because in the end it's going to be about the team result. It would be nice to win individually, but yeah, things keep going like they are, then it will just be Honchik doing that and having no real issue doing so. So yeah, there we go. At the moment there's 43 minutes remaining, and yeah, what a race it has been so far. Races close almost everywhere here. In fact, also towards the back here. You don't see this every day, but they are still fighting for position here. Pascal Reinhardt. Can't really miss the livery, can you? It's BMW M6 GT3. It's a little bit of an older car in the game. It's been in the car for quite a while now. Definitely a car that isn't the quickest out there, so massive respect for gaining those. Marco Keddy, driver for Formula Racing Team, Indy number 737. I think that makes a lot of sense if you compare that to his real life job, obviously, which is an airline pilot. don't know for which company though, but I saw he had it in his Discord bio. Little fun fact about him. It's such a weird job to me if you think about it, right? You kind of leave home, go somewhere, a couple days, you just fly back and forth, and then you go back home again. It's just so weird that that's your job, right? But as a respect to this, I mean, all the buttons they have to do and everything you gotta take into account. It's incredible, really. Marco Lorenz, P7 that is for him. Driving the Aston Martin and actually chasing down on another Aston Martin as well. So equal machinery for these. Wait, is it Ryanair? Well, even then. I mean, Ryanair is a great company. I mean, obviously, you pay Ryanair prices and you get the comfort of Ryanair. So, I expected too much here. Here we have the first driver headed into the pits. And that is Lucas Krachmar. At least he'll be the first one to serve his mandatory pit stop, and everybody else moving up a position as a result. But eventually, you're going to have to come in anyways. So, obviously, that will be cancelled out at some point. But yeah, no, the Ryanair is great. I mean, when it goes somewhere cheaply, it's either Flixbus or Ryanair, dude. Or EasyJet. EasyJet exists as well. Now, I don't fly that often, personally. I only really fly one time a year. To Östersund in Sweden. And then it's either KLM or Scandinavian Air, because there's not really many airlines that operate on that line. So for me, it's usually I gotta go to Stockholm, then to Östersund, which is a small, not even an international airport, I think. So that's why probably. Lands the plane quickly to get home to sim race. I respect that, man. Gotta have the 9 to 5 mentality, right? You know, to be fair, if I fly somewhere and I arrive like 10 minutes early, I'm a happy man. That's just how much I can tell you, right? I'm a happy man because then I know I don't need to stress about my my next flight if I have one. And speaking about flights here, I have just bought tickets for the British Touring Car Championship in opener in Donington Park. So therefore I'll be making my way over to the East Midlands Airport, where I'll be staying for a couple nights to watch some beautiful racing. And first time for me flying abroad to go to a race. I have been to the Hockenheimring before. And yeah, I'm very much excited to see that for the first time, because the British touring cars have always been very interesting to me. I'm definitely more of a GT and touring car guy. Watch TCR, watch BTCC, Fanatic GT Challenge of course, but not that big of a Formula 1 fan or any other open wheeler for that matter. I do watch it of course when it's on TV, but I don't really go out of my way to do it. And I'm a big fan of WEC as well, but I believe everybody really is. It's just an amazing series. It's just so great. Obviously Le Mans, it's a great race. Very much looking forward to the 24 hour of Nürburgring as well, and a little bit more recently I've also really started to enjoy the 24 hour series. For example, we got the 6 hour of Dubai coming up in a roughly a week, I wanted to say, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it this week already? I'm not sure. Might have been this weekend already, I'm not sure exactly, but yeah. Nice. Donington is 15 minutes from my house. Formula Racing League meets there every year for the GT3 Champ. Yeah, British GT is also great. And yeah, I'm curious to see how it's going to go. I'm very much excited for it. Senator pitted early. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up later. He was running top 10. Yeah, he was top 10. He was low in the top 10. So, not at the front exactly, but he definitely is taking a little bit of a risk here coming in early. So, one of the few drivers to serve that pit stop here. It's currently only this man, Adam Gardner, but he still has to come in because it was a penalty. So, he has served a penalty but already, but still needs to do his mandatory pit stop. Senator is the front driver when it comes to other drivers that have served their penalty. Oh yeah, the 24-hour Spa. I completely forgot about that. Spa's within reach for me, I think. I can drive there. It's Belgium, it's not too far. I live in the north of the Netherlands, but I think I'll manage, honestly. So I could definitely head down there. But yeah, if you're going to be at the British Touring Car Championship opener, let me know, because I'll be there as well. That would be fun. But yeah, the endurance racing definitely is my thing. The 24-hour of the Nürburgring as well as Le Mans are definitely up there for me. We'll need to see them at some point, right? Those are kind of the most prestigious events, in my opinion. 24-hour Spa as well. And I definitely gonna head down to our Belgian neighbors at some point because, you know, Zolder and Spa, both great tracks, and yeah, one day you'll see it. So I'm actually very, very lucky. Beautiful move, by the way, by the BMW here. Stuck it in the end. He's a stuntman. Will he be fully ahead, though? I'm not sure. Yes, he will be. Or is that the Lamborghini diving down? No, not quite. Yeah, I'm really lucky here because I actually ended up living 15 minutes from the TT circuit in Assen, which is pretty cool. And Zandvoort's within reach. Spa and Zolder only a couple hours. Same for Hockenheim. Is even doable, I'd argue. Same for the Nürburgring even. So I can go anywhere, but closest to me it's Assen. Raceway Emmen, which is a dirt oval. That's a lot of fun, by the way, those dirt ovals. Don't ever underestimate those. If there's someone nearby in your local town or whatever, please go, because it's amazing. And then there's also Race Park Meppen. Close over the German border, which is also a fun little track. Don't really run that many series there, but if it's there, I'll definitely have a go. 50 euro for a Spa ticket. 100th year anniversary this year. Yeah, 50 euros is not that bad after all, is it? I think it's actually relatively cheap. I'm trying to think here what I paid for my Hockenheim Ring Fanatic GT Challenge. But I don't remember what they costing me. I'm only 10 minutes away from Cops Corner at Silverstone. Oh, you're a lucky guy, you. It's the only issue with me always that I have a license, but I don't have a car. And ooh, good attempt though by Guardby, but I couldn't stick it in the end. So the issue with me is always that, well, you kind of have to go by car if you're going to a circuit, right? There's not a lot of tracks that have, especially not for the minor events, right? Considering like the GT racing, they don't usually have like buses from train stations or whatever. They're just kind of stuck there. That's what I realized. So I managed to convince my mom that I can take the car to the Hockenheim Ring race. Because this is the plan for me, right? So first of all, I'm going to the Hockenheim Ring Fanatec GT Challenge. And then I'm going to the Nürburgring after for the Fanatec GT Challenge Endurance. Which is great. Best track in the UK, Oulton Park, is 40 minutes for me. Ooh, best track. I mean, I must say, it might be biased, but I really like Donington Park. And a track that doesn't... Like, a track that I actually really enjoyed when it was in LFM was... oh god, what's it called now? I forgot completely. It's so enjoyable that I forgot the name of it, lads, don't mind me. Cadwell Park, that was what it's called. And I know that might be controversial, but that track is so much fun, especially the last sector. Obviously, it's kind of too small to do proper car racing on. But it was just so much fun doing that. Best track in the UK is Oulton Park. I mean, Oulton Park's a good shout, I would say. It's kind of bumpy though sometimes, I realized. Only hours away from me. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna do that, because I can either fly into East Midlands, which is kind of more expensive, and then to get there, I'd first need to get into Ireland and then fly back, basically, which doesn't make a lot of sense logistically. Or I could fly into Birmingham, but how am I then gonna make my way over? It's yeah, not that great either, to be honest. So the issue is you can't really rent a car around there, because apparently it's really expensive if you're only as young as me, because by the time that I'll go, I'll only be 29, which definitely isn't going to help me when it comes to the pricing here. I saw that some companies charge like 150 euros extra. Like extra, that's not even the full price, that's just the extra. That's insane, really. Graph is good. I'll also give you a technical. Yeah, that's great. Not best for a centerport race day. It's a straight, no corners. I mean, drag racing is underrated here. That might be controversial, but no, I don't see it that often here. There's a little bit of drag racing around me on an abandoned airfield sometimes. Kind of fun, but like if you take me to drag racing, I'll be happy for a day. Let me tell you that much. I won't complain. For me, it's always been kind of dirt ovals that kind of have a vibe to it, right? Autocross, for example. It's kind of a low entry. Everybody can do it. And it's just a lot of fun. We track nearby me, Emmen, is like 40 minutes away by car. And another great feature about the track here, as we see more drivers coming into the pits now. Another great feature is that they actually do banger racing there as well, so you can kind of ram into each other, which is a lot of fun. So here we have Melker Gartby, who's serving as pit stop. So he's pitted now. There's 31 minutes to go. And yeah, lots of drivers behind him as well. We have Stutman coming in. We have Marco Keddy coming in. You see him right below as well. So lots of drivers now pitting roughly towards the halfway mark of the race here, which means that we're kind of splitting the race in halves here. I'm curious to see what the strategies are going to be for the other drivers here. Ooh, there it's got a little bit dicey. I believe that's the Lamborghini going off, but I think he's managed to keep it on the track. I think that was our first touch I've even seen, like proper big touch. Donny and Catwell Park, 45 minutes away from me. Love them both. Yeah, Catwell Park's kind of got something to it, right? But I don't know if they do many car races there. I saw Fun Cup UK, I think. But, like, how are they going to overtake, right? That's my main concern. But with the elevation changes, especially the last sector, it's just so much fun if you get it right. Are you coming, Donny, this year's Smiley? You guys should go to the Donington Park BTCC opener. That's what I'm going for. Arctic Circle Raceway. 15 hours away from me. Fair enough. It's great. Not the best track in the UK, but it's a drive to get there. Yeah, it's pretty up north, right? If I recall correctly. It's somewhere just lost in Scotland. What do you guys think about Brands Hatch? Brands Hatch kind of got something to it. I love the Indy circuit as well. Especially in slower cars, you drive the Indy circuit and you're having fun. Halfway through. So 30 minutes left. And then you have Croft as well, which is an interesting one to me. That's what Tom Brunel is calling out as well. We should do a poll sometime. What's the best UK track here? Fun Cup's awesome. Yeah, I'm going to every event this season. My 8-year-old son loves them. I love them as well. Yeah, the thing with the Fun Cup, I'm not sure if this is true, but I tried out their official Assetto Corsa mod. Yes, that's a thing. They had an official mod. And I don't believe these cars have traction control nor ABS, do they? Paolo Alex also coming in now. That's the Rexy livery. It's an absolute classic, isn't it? So to give you an idea, yeah, the top 18 has not yet pitted. And then we have Gardner, Petstop, Alex coming in. And then we have Sealing as well as Furlan who haven't pitted yet. And every single driver below has pitted apart from this man, as Pascal Reinhardt. He is yet to come in here. And currently, see how big the gap is. Was it Hockenheim? Yeah, wait. They did Hockenheim ring at Fun Cup? I didn't know they do that. Or was that not the one you were referring to? FTC, but no ABS. They do FTC? They do? It doesn't feel like it when I drive them. Although that might just because I'm not really used to them. For some reason, I thought they had absolutely nothing on them. It definitely didn't feel like they had anything on them. But then again, that might just be my driving skills. Man, such that as a bicycle track? Did it? I mean, to be fair, it's kind of small, so that makes sense. I love the first turns. I love the downhill one, where people will always go off all the time, and then you kind of got the hairpin. I love it. No, BTCC. Wait. What? What's going on? It was the Hockenheim? What was the Hockenheim? Wait, was it the Fun Cup? Yeah, that's what I thought, right? Oh, the... oh, right. The FRL. Yeah, okay. I apologize, mate. Yeah, that's rFactor 2, right? If I'm not mistaken. I recently got that game. It's good fun. Oh, I must say, I haven't really gotten around. There's two mods for them. One is based on the Europe spec, one is based on the UK spec. Yeah, I think we were doing the official Fun Cup UK spec race. Yeah. I think old BTCC didn't have any assists. I don't know. The only thing that I really know about old BTCC cars is that I absolutely love the Volvo 850. That was driven by Jan Lammers back in the day. Because it's just such a weird thing. Like, why would you take that car out, right? Okay, so we've seen our race leader pit in the meanwhile, which means we have a new race leader, at least temporarily. It's this man, Philip Brechtia. Which means that everybody else will be passing him now in just a little bit. You can see how far he's fallen back. He's driving again, though. P18. And he's taken a very long pit stop here. 1 minute and 14 seconds. Now, if you compare that to, for example, Gardner, who only stopped for 1 second, you can definitely feel the differences. Right, that's obviously going to cost him some time, and he's going to have to fight back eventually. Now, the rest obviously still has to pit, but he's still first to make his way past Gardner, for example, and everybody else ahead of him hasn't pitted yet. So he's still leading if everybody has the same pitting time as him at least, but obviously he is quick out there, so that's going to play a big factor, I think. Hey, but what is the calendar for the virtual BTCC that we're doing right now on Formula Racing League? Because I'd love to get into that, if possible, of course. That sounds great. May versus RJ soon, the battle we all came for. Well, maybe. Should we look if they're actually approaching? Well, the Parma also coming in now, representing the Harakiri Sports Pekka. Oh, that's a beautiful car, by the way. Just wanted to highlight that real quick. That is an absolute stunner. Drop a like, boys. Please do, of course. Always very much appreciate it. Now, to give you an idea about all the gaps we have right now, the race is being led by Brechnia, but he has to come in at some point. And Verstappen right behind, only 2 seconds. We have Neuer, Zakdal, and Lorik to rank out our top 5. You see the gaps are a little bit bigger now, and with 18 minutes on the clock to get your pit stop in, I think it's fair to say that we're going to see a lot of pit stops coming up soon. And then we'll kind of get an idea where everybody's ending up here. Lookaard be getting another position there on Furlan. Doesn't really get in the way. I think he's kind of realized it's not worth it. I mean, he's yet to pit, and the driver behind him already pitted here. So eventually he's going to lose that position anyway. So he's decided, hey, I'm going to let him pass now, play it safely, make sure that I can focus on my own race, because that's going to be the most important one in the end. So you can definitely say as well that the Harakiri drivers are currently quite quick. I mean, 5 out of the top 6 drivers are currently in that competition. And then you have Honzik, who's obviously also ahead of that. So things are looking good for the Czechoslovakian mixed team. Oh wait, that's more of a Counter-Strike term, isn't it? But he still needs to pit. Yes, he does. Don't know if I can show that somehow. I don't think so, right? To give you an idea here, top 14 hasn't pitted yet. Gardner hasn't either, because he's only served his penalty. Then we have Honzik, which is the race leader. At least, if you think about it, because in the end, well, once everybody's pit, he's just kind of, you know, come back to that. So yeah, he's just cruising his way through the field right now, by the way, passing the Aston Martin. Absolutely don't know Jordy's strategy. Yeah, me neither. I don't even know who Jordy is, to be fair. Is it this man? No, it's John Baton. Where's Jordy? What's his last name here? I'm not sure. Currently aboard with Technoy with on half a second behind Verstappen, and Belgians definitely had a very good race so far. Hasn't really been involved in too much. Just really doing his own thing and defending well from the drivers behind, which is all that you need in the end. Now as we swap back a little bit later, you can see that Vincenzo Senatore, who has served his mandatory pit stop, is getting a little bit frustrated here with Sealing, knowing that he hasn't pitted yet, but he wants to get past really badly. But where can he? Might try his luck around the outside here. Needs to make it through, and I think he's just been let by. Yes, he has. South African driver realizing, hey, I don't need to be here. It's for the better. Now, this is a name I haven't heard before much. Nico Veldman. He was quite active, but now really just seems to be driving in no man's land here, and in that big train of Formula Racing League cars. So that's currently P5, 210, all taken by the grey team, which is of course Formula Racing League. We have some more drivers obviously towards the back here, and Ossi Loranta finds himself on the grass. Alright, so great news is no big surprises when it comes to the weather here, so that will allow for a few more stable races here. And I don't really know what the weather is set to, so the league that I usually commentate, they have just put up chances here, so there's like a 68% for example chance that it's dry. You have a 32% chance of mixed weather, or you have, you know, 31% chance and 1% chance of rain, and there are no big surprises. Now, I don't know if we've seen many races yet in the rain. I don't think we have, right? It's not that I remember. Lucas Kaczmar considering going for a move on the McLaren and now going down the inside. Obviously that is not one for position. I mean, it technically is, but obviously it's thanks to the pit stops, so that doesn't really count. So yeah, definitely great awareness here, knowing who's worth fighting and who's not worth fighting. So once again, just shows how good these people really are at what they're doing. So Honzik is in P11, and actually, funnily enough, he is behind Zakdal, which is pretty interesting. That's probably thanks to his longer pit stop, significantly longer it was. And now you see that May has dropped in here, Zakdal moving past, and now the Ferrari could be the next victim here for the McLaren. Alex virtual P1, is he? I don't know, is he? Assetto might be. And now Jordan May, I think he's going to have to let him pass. No, he's going to stick it up the inside again. So the McLaren not quite passed yet. So maybe a little bit of a frustrated streamer here. Not flashing his lights, so that's at least a good sign. So yeah, maybe we will see Alex Zakdal making a late race comeback here, because as long as Jordan May is able to keep him up, the the Aston Martin just focus on running their own races here. Once again, there's no space yet, so he's gonna have to wait. But now I think it's done for. Yes, Jordan May goes slightly wide, so now he's passed, which means that Jaroslav Honzik can now start hunting on to Alex Zakdal. The gap is 1.2 seconds, so they're gonna eventually catch up. And now you can see as well how much of a difference it really is here. So the gap is 1.2 seconds. So will the Aston Martin be able to stay ahead? That's what we're all wondering here. There's 11 minutes yet to left to serve your pit stop, excuse me. So curious to see how that one's going to play out here. We are yet to see the first 7 drivers pit, so which that basically means that Zakdal's just leading at the moment, and the gap is now a little bit lower than it was before. So Jaroslav Honzik already catching up, but he still needs to make it pass cleanly, and with 18 minutes on the clock, the time pressure is on him, of course. It is just the Swede that has to hold on here. I think it's also fair to say that the team play is definitely coming in here. That's also where we're kind of struggling here in the Harakiri department, because they were not really getting any closer to each other. They were just all driving in a circle, which is fine. You're not attacking each other, so nobody's losing time. That's just how it is. When it comes to these things, that's definitely where having a teammate that's just in the way can help. And I think that they definitely communicated about that one, because it looked like he actually dropped off deliberately to then make sure that he got into the way of the McLaren, which means that Alex was in clean air, at least temporarily. He's eventually going to put up the pressure anyways here. Now we see immediately as well. Here's the reaction. Jordan May serving his mandatory pit stop. He's done the only thing he needed to do. He's made sure that the Czech driver has done his job. No, what's that? Have a look to your left of your screen. It looks like Alex Zakdal has found himself with a drive-through penalty, and that is devastating news for the Swedish driver. So Jaroslav Honzik should just be ahead now, at least virtually. He's not passed yet on track, but because he has to serve that drive-through, that's gonna put him back significantly. That is such a heartbreak. I don't even know how that has happened. I've got absolutely no clue. So it looks like Jordy's work was all for nothing. And I finally realized that Jordy isn't his first name. Yeah, drive-through is tough. It happens. Nico Veldman also serving his pit stop in the Audi R8. All these drivers still need to come in at some point, and I don't think they're gonna fight each other much here. Wouldn't be worth it, to say the least. Now, 9 minutes left to serve your mandatory pit stop, which means we're also getting closer to the end of the race here. 16 minutes left and 30 seconds, and there's been an incident. Yes, that is Amir Kazatarash as well as Petzel. That's one of the very few incidents we've seen here. And, well, I guess those things happen from time to time when you're racing, right? Now, I wonder what has happened to Alex to get that pit stop. I'm not entirely sure what he has done to get that in. So anyways, can we get some predictions in the chat as well? Who do you guys think is going to win this race here? We see Mark Pollak getting closer, and also in the foreground we see that the South African driver and Marco Keddy are going side by side, and it will just be the Swiss driver to move up ahead here, up to P18. And, well, Keddy has already served his pit stop as well. Arnie Sealing still needs to get in though. So, yeah, it wasn't really worth fighting for regardless. I wonder when these drivers are going to come in. Philippe Bertja as well as Nieuwerf, Lorank and Verstrepen. So one of them has now. And Honsik's just slowly but surely gaining. Seems to have a little bit of clean air as well, so he can push it to the limits. And, well, Zakdal now serving his mandatory pit stop. Well, not really his mandatory pit stop, it's a drive-through rather. Mark, how are we doing, boys? We're doing lovely out here today. Unfortunately, Alex has just seen his chances at winning the race dissipate right in front of him because he's got himself a drive-through penalty. Now, that's quite a shame, isn't it? However, that's just how racing is sometimes, and I don't really know how he got that penalty. I'd love to hear from him, and we'll eventually hear from him regardless in the Discord chat, presumably. But yeah, I'm doing very great. How are you doing yourself, mate? What's that Honsik fella? Yeah, he's quick out there. I don't know how you mean dirty exactly, if you mean he's a dirty driver, because I haven't really seen that. I mean, every single overtake I've seen is clean from him, but he is rapid. 133.3. That is 5/10 quicker than the current leader's fastest lap. That's a significant difference. Here we go, just lubricating my throat a little bit. I need that at the moment. Marco Gartby at least makes him one position. Moving himself up to P9 now. So I'm bribing stewards. Oh, that might be it. Right, that makes a lot of sense. Apologies. I did not get the script for this match, so I don't really know who's going to win yet. You guys obviously already know. You've read the script. It's actually funny enough because... so I mainly come from Counter-Strike, the competitive shooter game. That's where I started my commentating career, and that's also still my main thing that I do. And funnily enough, it turns out that my first ever big event, well, big for my standards, that it turned out to be a scripted match here where the winner was already decided. And I had no clue. I had absolutely no clue that that was a thing. Quite a shame. Obviously in sim racing you can't really stage those things, can you? And I don't think they will anyways. It's not really worth it here. And Harakiri is going to be happy because they're leading by a significant margin. 4 drivers in the top 5, and eventually that will be one more. Jaroslav Honsik still on his way. He's the big streamer and looks like he knows how to race. Now aboard with Melker Gartby, taking over their position from Benjamin Ack. He was the Lamborghini riding behind. They have decided to swap around here, probably for tactical reasons as well. To give you an idea, by the way, of the biggest losers and winners here so far here, it's this man who has gained the most positions. Stefano Forden has gained 15 positions from his 26th starting position. And the biggest loser is Juraj Čvenček, losing 19 positions in the process. Quite a shame, but obviously those penalties definitely did not help him when it comes to that. Now, Christopher Strapen is looking close to Bechia, but can he move past? I mean, they both have to come at some point. I assume at this point it's going to be a splash and dash. However, there might be opportunities, especially if one pits and the others doesn't. There it is. There is the Mercedes coming in. This is a very big decision to make. Obviously, it's not for the race lead, but it's going to play a significant part in this. So where will he drop down to? We gotta pay attention here to Bechia. Where is he going to be ending up? That's the main question we have here. John Baton is driving as fast as he can and hopes to come out ahead here. If that's the case, then it's no longer going to be a race only dominated by the Czech-Slovak team. Now they're roughly side by side, and you can see that he's now just made his way past. So John Baton moves up into 4th. And, well, he's yet to pit as well. So we might see that change, obviously, here. Now we see Jaroslav Honček. He's actually come in behind Bechia, but he's not out of the pit yet. So will he overtake on time? It's kind of hard to say. I think he has, yes. So it's a little bit dodgy always on the stream. But I think he's passed. No, he's not. Is he not? Nope, he's not. It's not even close, in fact, here. So, actually, I don't know this, but I think Philipp Bechia might be the race winner here. Maybe a little bit of a mistake to pit for a longer time then. I'm not sure. I mean, a 32-second pit stop it was in terms of time that he was standing still. So now, that makes me think this is the new race leader. Christopher Strapen is the actual race leader when you look to undrag position. And oh, look at that. John Baton has got himself a drive-through the last 10 minutes of the race here. Now there's 2 minutes to go in. So they have to go. And that is Christopher Strapen coming in now. That's why we got to pay attention to Jaroslav Honček as well as the driver ahead of him. That is Philipp Bechia. That is going to be the biggest decider. Who's going to come out on top here? So the driver in behind, as expected, has also come to pit there. So Martin Lorink now moves past. He has to come in on the last lap. So now we wait for the Mercedes AMG to get around. That decides who's going to be the new race leader as soon as we head into the last 5 minutes of the race. So now things are getting sketchy. Philipp Bechia finds himself into the Misano turn for one more time. And that's where it will be a sprint race for Strapen still in the pit. Who's going to come out ahead? Well, Bechia has moved up a couple positions now. And now he keeps pushing for it. And he thinks he's just driven past. I'm not entirely sure. Yes, he has. And convincingly at that too. A quick pit stop for Verstappen, but it wasn't enough. There he is. Look at how close it is on the entry. They're right next to each other. I didn't know the gap was going to be that close. And now it will be Philipp Bechia ahead still of the Belgian driver. Now it's just a matter of waiting for Martin Lorink goes into the pits. He is currently in P1, but he hasn't pitted yet. How close was that? Eight minutes on the clock, and the pit timer is almost done. So everybody's pitted now, apart from the driver leading the race. So Lorink has to come in. He can't hold on to this for much longer here. And John Baton yet to serve his drive-through as well. So Martin Lorink now makes his way into the pits here. Now, I wonder where it's going to end up here. Now, if you look at the pit time, it's usually around 47 to 48 seconds. So it's definitely dropping in between the second and third player. Which means that these two are now battling for the lead here. If you want to know what that looks like, look at how close these drivers are here. Philipp Bechia. Brecha, I believe it is Brecha, maybe? I don't know.
Pit window is now closed.
Pit window is closed. There you go. These two will now be headed back into P1 and 2. But doesn't really matter because Harakiri is just ahead convincingly. This is the Mercedes AMG driver leading the race now as there's 7 minutes to go. Only a couple laps here, and look at that. Ooh, that's a little bit of a bump there. Marco Keddy gets hit, I believe, there. Maybe it was him hitting the other driver, I'm not really sure. So, in this little group here, being led by Nico Veldman, is being chased down by Senatore, who's also from Formula Racing League. Then we have Krakmar in the middle, which is a driver for our Valkyrie. And then we have Marco Keddy. We have Pollock and Stupna following in behind as well. So this little 5-man battle here is all for track positions towards the end of the race. The only driver we'll see go into the pit one more time is John Baton, because he needs to serve his drive-through penalty that he's gotten himself. And well, Lucas Kalkmar seems to be comfortable in the middle at the moment. The Ferrari 296 he seems to be able to hold up the Porsche behind, and it doesn't look like he's gaining too much on the 296 ahead of him here. So things might stay the same here with the Audi leading the pack. However, look at how close that Porsche somehow got. Obviously, he will be on the outside, so I don't think it's possible to go for a move there. But now he takes a different line, tries to go side by side once again. Marco Keddy has gained the position, at least according to the second screen. However, obviously, he isn't passed yet until he fully is. And there we go. There you go. I think he's done it. Yes, absolutely yes. Marco Keddy moves to one position. Not only flying as his daily job, but also flying past the Ferrari 296. Just seemed to have a little bit more speed coming through there. And now we have a little bit of a train going on here. It's Veldman leading. And now we see John Baton as well serving his mandatory penalty that he's gotten. It's going to cost him so much positions to the end. That's quite a shame, isn't it? But that happens, and now you can actually see how much he's losing. Back to P15, and he might lose even more. And obviously he doesn't need to stop. That's his only advantage. To make it even worse as well for the driver in behind already. Well, Pascal Reinhardt has got himself a drive-through. And yeah, that's tough here. Really, that's the only thing that I can say about it. Now, we're waiting for John Baton to go out. You can see the penalty has gotten cleared, but in P17, you consider that to be race over. He's not going to be towards the front here for any longer. Now, Jaroslav Honchik is still the quickest driver on the grid right now. So, Neuweer, Verstrepen and Bergen need to be scared. And, well, if he can keep gaining half a second per lap, he's going to catch up to at least the P3 driver. Obviously, this track's quite long. 2 minutes per lap at a minimum. Or sorry, what am I saying? 1.5 minutes per lap. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, 1.5 lap, 1.5 minute per lap at a minimum. So using that, he should be good to take over P3 at least. Well, if he managed to make it past that is the Ferrari just sticking his nose up there and gaining another position. Marco Keddy now has that Ferrari 296 right behind him again. Actually looked like the Ferrari had fallen back a little bit now after losing that position to the Porsche in first place, and then he's finally gained it back now, so that's great. Not in P1, no, absolutely not. Philippe Brecha is currently leading the race, and with not much time to go, I wonder if we'll see a change now on that long straight. I think these cars should all be roughly equal. So curious to see what that ends up bringing here. The Czech driver currently in P1 and now also catching up the back markers. So now Porsche needs to move out of the way, because you don't want to be getting in the way here of these faster drivers. That's the worst case scenario here. There you go. Is he going to lift, or are they going to go side by side? Well, there we go. That's the move now. He's actually held up the other drivers for a little bit as well, I believe. So that works to his advantage now. Now we see Krakmar. I believe he might have gone for a spinner. Yes, he has. That's Lucas Krakmar. He's now out of the group for sure. I don't know if there was contact. But he has now fallen back to P16. Now right ahead of John Baton. It's a shame, really. Don't know how that has happened here. And now we see Matteo Parma also make his way past former driver. That was the driver he was lapping. He's currently getting closer to Jordan May right ahead in the pack. And there's another contact between Miso Stupna and I believe that was Pollach also involved. But Miso Stupna is standing still as he needs to wait for the rejoin. The other driver was fine to go. Suddenly this so clean race has come to such a chaotic end here. But I don't know if there's time to look at the incident, review it, and then also hand out and serve the penalty. Because, well, these drivers are only going to cross the line one more time. And obviously you got to take that into consideration. And it's still Brega leading. And then it's the Belgian right behind. That is the Bentley. Not really getting any closer at the moment. And with 1.5 minutes left here, we should be making ourselves up here for the last lap of the race. So you can see everybody's making their way through the last sector before we head into the last the last lap of the race here. So we're gonna get the announcement as well. And look at this here. Jaroslav Honchik has made his way past Neuwirth, and now he's right up the bum of the Bentley. So this might just suddenly cause a massive shake. And can the Belgian hold on in the very last lap of the race? It's still the McLaren leading ahead of Neuwirth, who he's taken over the position from. Now chasing down the Belgian. That's his next target here. But the gap is only 0.1 seconds. So perhaps he can have a chance at this. McLaren could go for a move on the inside here. He has to leave space for Strapen. Gives up the position. And now it's a hunt all the way towards the end there. The gap is 0.7 seconds. Unless the Mercedes makes a mistake, he shouldn't be winning this. But he's definitely feeling the nerves at this point. He is so close to winning this. It's all going to come down to the last sector of the circuit here. We're going to make our way over towards the hairpin now. As the Tramonto hairpin. And then we are going to go onto that long straight here. The back mark is getting out of the way as well. They realize that they need all the space they can get. And the gap is half a second now. And I think they're just going to give it their roll here. I don't think there's such thing as a team at this point here. They both want to take that individual victory. We're aboard with Jaroslav Honchik for the entire round here. 0.2 seconds. The gap has just completely been closing. But he's still not passed yet here. Making their way into the last 2 turns of the race. He is still ahead here in this corner. Look at the maximum amount of space he's using. And now into the last turn they go. It's going to be a drag race over towards the end. Who's going to end up coming out on top? Is it going to be the McLaren or is it going to be the Mercedes? It's going to be the Mercedes India winning the race. With Verstappen to come in third. Honchik in second, of course. Then we have Neuwirth as well as Lawrence. Now we're waiting for Malcolm Gardby. He is the quickest driver for the Formula Racing team. Coming in P6. And then we have Benjamin Eck right behind. As well as Bademci right behind him as well. So Benjamin Eck finishes in P7, and then it's the Dutchman of Tukberg Bademci to finish in P8. Right behind him is Marek Fons. He is another driver for Harakiri Racing. Great stuff we've seen from him as well. And then we have Marco Caddy to come in P10. Nico Veldman's right behind, and then we have Senatore following him. Alex Sackdell finishes in P13 after that unfortunate penalty there towards the end. And now it is Marek Pollach in P14. Kakmar and Stupna right behind. John Baton in P17 after getting another drive through. Angela Scott in P18. Now we have Adam Gardner towards the line. Should be able to stay ahead of the Iranian driver here. Kastaraj finishes in P20. Popov in P21 to be followed by Lewis Pestol in the Ferrari 2. 9.6, and look at that. Sealing has got himself a 130-second penalty. It's a 2-minute penalty there towards the end. How has that just happened? And anyways, those are the race results. I don't know how Sealing has found himself to have 130 seconds worth of penalties. But anyways, that was the race. And what a race it was. Well, it definitely got chaotic towards the end there. But I hope you guys enjoyed that nevertheless. It was a very clean race and it was a lot of fun to watch this one live. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. I want to thank you guys all for watching the stream so much. We're going to play some music and then it's going to be the end of the stream. Thank you all for joining into the stream. It's very much appreciated. And thank you for Marco as well for inviting me to be here. It's been an absolute pleasure. I want to wish you guys a very pleasant evening or night, depending on where you're from, of course. And I will see you guys hopefully soon again on this channel. My name is Rick Popkin, also known as Ricky DC. I'm a freelance Counter-Strike and sim racing commentator. And if you're interested in my servers, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at RickyDC, the I is a 1, or have a look at Fiverr. You can find me over there as well. I want to wish you guys a pleasant evening, and I will see you into the next one.